Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing 10 powerful hidden features for your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So let's dive in and get started right away. You are going to love these features. Alright, so the very first feature we're going to be talking about is a very underused but highly valuable feature. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So go to the settings and then scroll down to security and privacy. Then go down a little bit more. Okay, and go to more security settings, tap on it, and then at the bottom you are going to see this option known as the pin app option. So I'm going to tap on it. It is disabled right now, but I'm going to enable it. I'm going to show you guys how to use it. Make sure ask for pin before unpinning is enabled. So let's say you gave your phone to somebody to show them something on an app. As an example, let's just say you gave them the phone to use the calculator application, but the next thing they're going to do is they're going to exit this and they're going to go to your gallery and they're going to start looking at photos that they're not supposed to look at. Okay, so they will go from one app to the other if you're not looking, and they will just browse through your private stuff. So if you are giving your phone to somebody for a particular reason, to use a particular app, what you want to do for your safety is pull up the app first before you give it to them. Tap on the app, and after you enable the pin app option, you can tap on pin this app. Now once this app is pinned, it says to unpin this app, you have to swipe and hold. But as of right now, look at this. I cannot exit this application. So if I gave this to somebody, they cannot leave this application and try to use something else. So it's a great little feature. Now if you do want to exit it after they give it back to you, you swipe and hold. Okay, you swipe from the bottom and you hold. But the thing is, we enabled the security feature, so now even if they do that themselves, they still have to put the PIN number to get in there or use your fingerprints. Okay, so again, if I tap the calculator application, let me just bring that back. So let's go over here, tap over here, pin this app. Now if I try to exit this application, it is going to ask me to actually put in the fingerprint or the PIN, which they cannot do. Therefore, they cannot browse to the unwanted areas of your phone. So just make sure when you are in settings, security and privacy, and more security settings, that you do go all the way down and enable ask for PIN before unpinning. If I did not have this enabled, look at what happens. I'm going to go to the calculator. All right, I'm going to pin it. Let's pin this app. So that's great, but if I swipe up and hold, it just gets unpinned and I can now go back out and look at other stuff. Alright, so that's number one. The next feature I'm going to talk about, hidden keyboard feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my text messages just so I can have the keyboard up right here so you can see what I'm talking about. So once you're in the keyboard, what you want to do is you want to tap on this button right here, and it's going to bring up a menu. In this menu, there's an option known as extract text. So what you can do with that one is just grab the phone, and here's some text, by the way. This is just an example text right here. So grab the phone, tap on extract text, and that is going to launch the camera in this little area. Now when I actually go over and look at any text, in this case I'm looking at that piece of paper, I can tap on extract text, and what that's going to do is it is going to extract this text. It's going to put it right over here as you just saw. Okay, I can also tap on the highlighted text to select it individually, as you can see. Okay, so I can change what I want to be extracted from the phone. So you can do that with the built-in keyboard. And again, I'm using a very simple example here, but you can do this for anything. You can extract a menu in a restaurant. You can extract a whiteboard in a classroom or in a meeting room or whatever you want. Just remember, you do have a hidden camera that is able to extract text built in right onto your phone. And all you do is tap on extract and it's going to extract that text. Fantastic, guys. Let's move on to the next tactic. All right, the next feature has to do with the refresh rate. Now, when I go to my settings right over here, and if I go to my display, You do know that this phone has an adaptive display refresh rate, which is right here. You can go from 60 to 120, but the 120 actually is quite advanced. So with the hidden feature, I'm going to activate a little number on the screen that is going to show you the live refresh rate of your phone's display. So we're going to go back right over here. I'm going to go all the way down under settings, go into about phone. Once you are in about phone, go to software information. I want you guys to tap the build number 7 times, 5 times or whatever, until you see the PIN number entry. So I'm going to put the PIN number in. And what that is going to do is it is going to activate the developer's options. Now you go back to the main settings screen, which is right here. Go all the way down. You have a developer options menu. Tap on it and then scroll down till you see the show refresh rate option, which should be somewhere over here. Right over here. It says show refresh rate. So enable this, and on the top you're going to see live refresh rate. You can see it says 24 right now, because I'm not touching the screen, but the moment I touch the screen, it goes to 120, which is what it's supposed to do, and that's how it's saving you battery. So it drops to 24, but when I interact with the phone, it goes back to 120, and you can see as I scroll through the phone, it remains at 120, but the moment I stop touching it, it is 24, and that is because it is saving battery life by dramatically reducing the refresh rate. Sometimes it'll jump to 60 or whatever, no big deal. That's when this happens, okay? But anyway, if I go to settings, and if I scroll down, go to display, and if I go to motion smoothness and switch to standard, now look at this. It stays at 60 when I touch it. When I don't touch it, it goes to 24, okay? So that's going to save you even more battery life because you're not going over 60, but then you're not going to get the smooth scrolling. But of course, the hidden feature is the fact that you can have this up here at all times and calculate the live refresh rate of your display. Fantastic. Let's move on. Now, the next feature has to do with any kind of notification, whether that's a phone call, an alarm, maybe a timer, or whatever. There is a special way to stop any notification from screaming in your ears. I'm going to use the clock real quick to give you an example. So I'm going to do clock, and I'm going to set a timer for, let's say, 3 or 4 seconds, okay? After the timer runs out, you're going to hear the alert just scream in my face. Now, again, that could be an alarm that is bothering you. You want to continue sleeping, whatever. Or maybe it's a phone call during a meeting. You want to quickly mute it. No problem. Let me show you what you can do. So I'm going to tap on start. After a couple seconds, it's going to start to do the ringing. There we go. So all I do is grab the phone, put it like this, and that's going to mute anything that is ringing, whether that's an alarm, a phone call, a timer, or whatever. So that's a fantastic little way to get rid of those annoyances if they are annoying at a given time. Now you do want to make sure this feature is enabled. Should be enabled by default, but go to the settings, scroll down, go to advanced features, okay, and then go over to motions and gestures, and then make sure mute with gestures is in fact enabled so you can perform that action. All right, let's move on. All right, the next feature is quite amazing. So I'm going to go to my gallery. You can go to your gallery and pick any photo. So here's a photo of a car. What you can do is you can tap on the edit button, okay? And once you tap on the edit, you're going to see these 4 squares. Tap on these guys and then scroll all the way down and go to style. Now this style is going to allow you to create some really artistic images out of any photo that you took. So here's my car. You can see I can tap on this and I have that effect. I can tap this one, I can have that effect. And all these are going to be mine. I can use them, share them any way I please because it is just part of the phone. Look at this, beautiful. Now when you pick any one of these effects, what you can also do is you can change the intensity of the effect by using this slider, as you can see. So I can bring it to 25, all right? And if I go over here, again, I can bring this to 25. So I can dial in the perfect amount of effect you want to add. But look at all the options you have. Pen and wash, cubist, you got the oil paint effect. Again, you can change it. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is after you pick up your effect and you tap on done, make sure don't tap on save. Tap the 3 dots and say save as copy. and that's going to make sure you retain the original image, and also you have this now, which you can share, post anywhere that you please. Alright, the next feature has to do with precision cursor control. So let me just bring up Samsung Notes, okay, and normally you have this cursor you can place places. Sometimes even your finger is not allowing you to put it in the perfect spot. So what you can do is you can bring up a precision cursor controller to put it exactly where you want it. So make sure the keyboard is available, and maybe you're in a Samsung Notes application or any other application. Then when the keyboard is up, you tap on this button, and then if you don't see it in here, make sure to tap on plus. Grab it and simply put it right here. Now you have the text editor. Now when I tap this guy, I am able to, using these arrows, put the cursor anywhere I want on the screen with high levels of precision. As you can see, I can put it exactly where I want it. I can even tap on select all to select everything if I want. That's all up to me. But this controller here allows you to go anywhere, okay, as you can see. Now, what if you want to select a particular area within a paragraph or a sentence? What you can also do is you can tap on the select right here, make sure it says blue, and then look at this. I can precision select this portion of that word, and I can cut it, copy it, or whatever. So look, cut, and now let's say I want to put it right here. Let's say I want to put it right here. Paste, okay? So I can cut anything from anywhere precisely and move it around using this keyboard cursor controller with the select, cut, copy, and paste functionality. Fantastic, guys. Let's move on. By the way, when you're in here, if you want to go back to the keyboard, just tap on the keyboard. Now the next feature also has to do with the keyboard and how I can change the color of this keyboard. So again, bring up the keyboard, go to the settings right there, okay? And then scroll down, and what you can do is there's a couple things you can do. First and foremost, you can have a high contrast keyboard. Enable this, and you have these options. You have this option, you have this option, you have this option, and you have this option. This is for people that want to use a high contrast keyboard for visibility reasons. Now, when you disable the high contrast keyboard, you have the option to choose light or dark, solid dark, or solid light. So look, I can choose between this, and this, as you can see. So various different options to have a keyboard, and you can also test drive it after you pick it. So high contrast and theme for the keyboard right inside the keyboard. You can also access these settings from the settings. Scroll down, go to general management right here. And then what you can do is you can go to Samsung keyboard settings, and the same settings will show up right here, as you can see. By the way, while you're in here, you can also change the size and the transparency of the keyboard. I can make it bigger, smaller, even move it up and down with a space at the bottom, as you can see. And when you're done, you can tap on done. And one more thing, right in the same menu, you can go to font size and change the size of the font on the actual keyboard. So I can make it small, as you can see, or bigger. Okay? Fantastic. You should customize the keyboard to your perfect preference because you do use it all the time. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. Let me know. For now, guys, have a fantastic day.